James Smalls gave me this. The law of correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without. This is the pathway to lead us back to the God self. Not the God out there somewhere that we could never come in contact with because we have to go through someone else to get to God. Are you following me? I'm talking about a direct link. As above, so below, as within, so without. Professor Small said this: you cannot access that deep essence using your enemy's pathway, i.e. education, religion, and politics. He does not know enough about God to know how to get to God. Are you following me? We have to understand that. Stop relying on your open enemy, all right, for the base of your religious beliefs. If he gives you the blueprint, his blueprint leads you right back to him. Now let's get something straight right here and now. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the cross. But when you put the white bloody dude on the cross, it becomes a problem now. But Sun Tzu says all warfare is based on deception. Are you following me? We need to understand that. But listen to this. It says if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Are you following me? We need to apply that today. Are you following me? Sun Tzu also says war is a matter of life and death. Some of y'all are in here treating this like this is entertainment, just something to do on Saturday. No, I beg your pardon, brothers and sisters. This is a matter of life and death. Are you following me? The tactics and strategies that we leave this lecture with, we have to take it out and apply it, because I'm telling you, man, it's Professor Grif today, but it's going to be you tomorrow, man. Now, Sister Ra and Brother Jahi was just as surprised as I was. Driving from from LA to Las Vegas. We driving along having a conversation about Creflo Dollar. And then the window of our vehicle gets shot out. Recently, a couple of weeks ago. Now you know what we thinking. Are you following me? I'm in the car with a Muslim and a sister coming out of the Christian experience through trying to understand Islam, but definitely understanding the African experience and trying to come in tune with the self. She in the front seat, Brother Jahi, devout FOI. I'm in the back seat. But as soon as the window got busted, I start hearing Jesus, Muhammad, and some other stuff, man. You see, when you're in trouble, you start reaching for those people. So we pulled over. We found a police officer. He did a field investigation, and later on when we got back to LA, we found out that we weren't the ones necessarily targeted because I'm Professor Grif. They had shot out a few more other people's windows. So we took a deep breath, but it was strange that on that journey, the brothers had lost the venue that I was supposed to speak at in Las Vegas, and I ended up speaking at the Church of Scientology. Yeah, picture that. Like Rob, I was shook sitting in the lobby trying to figure out what the hell to say, because I don't speak to them people. Understand the art of war's lessons and you will prevail. Ignore them and you will fight in utter darkness. And that is what's going on with us right now. It talked about that in this book called The Suppressed Rebellion. The Suppressed Rebellion, the Black Revolution Conceived. Quotations of 450 Africans from 1555 to 2002 by Ari Malik Shabazz. It talks about our inactivity. We know so damn much, we don't even do anything. Are you following me? We know so much, we do absolutely nothing. And we need to at least put some of these principles into practice. So I go over some of the brothers and sisters that have sacrificed their lives for us. And we don't even remember their names. They poured libation at the Black Power Conference. And I'm telling y'all, man, I was heated. Really, really heated. You can barely get Kwame Toure's name out your mouth. But I heard someone said, Bernie Mac, Richard Pryor, stop that. disrespectful. But you're not going to say Ma'at, Nzinga, the Mau Mau, the Zulus, Steve Biko, Winnie Mandela, and then Richard Pryor. This dude was a drug head who married a cracker. No, y'all tell me. So when you pour libation, what we're doing in pouring libation, you're calling down the spirit of the ancestors to dwell among us, to guide our words and our deeds. Bernie Mac? I don't get it. And I'm not trying to disrespect these brothers or their legacy, but I'm just saying, I don't understand that. I'm calling down the spirit of the Mau Mau to guide our deeds and our words. Are you following me? What happened to Sheikh Anta Diop and brothers that we respect? Are you following me? But anyway, Amos Wilson, he talked about black on black violence, the psychodynamics of black self-annihilation and servitude of white domination. What happened to this brother's work? What happened to this brother's work? Bobby E. Wright. Bobby E. Wright said what? That black people kill black people because we haven't been trained to kill white people. And that's real. Although Frederick Douglass went home every evening and slept next to a white woman, we had to take some of the principles that he gave us and apply them. Are you following me? He said, if there's no struggle, there's no progress. But we don't want to be professional strugglers. Hell no, I'm not trying to do that the rest of my life. I don't know if y'all noticed, man, I ain't got no damn gray hair. And not gonna have it. I'm gonna age slowly and gracefully. Are you following me? Y'all ain't gonna worry my ass to death. Shit. I'm telling y'all straight up, I'm not gonna be one of them old dried up revolutionaries that you see. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. Showing up at the lecture, smelling, sitting in the back somewhere. And like, oh, you remember him, right? That's Professor Grif. I'm not gonna be that dude. I'm really not gonna be that dude. Seriously. I'm telling you, before I pass on, man, this is going to be on for real. He said, power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has and it never will. Slaves are generally expected to sing and work at the same damn time. That's right. And that's what we do. That's right. If you don't know anything about Carter G. Woodson's work and you didn't pass this on to your children, shame on you. We don't need to go over that tonight. Let's push forward. Harriet Tubman said what? That she's freed thousands of slaves. She would have freed thousands more if they only knew they were slaves. Just like you here today. Some of y'all don't know we in this thing. We at war. So we have to, matter of fact, some of us don't know that we're black in here. That we're going by all these other labels and terms, which we need to do away with. You're confusing the children, brothers and sisters. Are you following me? Let's get to the meat of this. Now, I have to ask some embarrassing questions. So if you're here with your children or your girlfriend or your husband, I don't mean any disrespect. Can anyone in the audience name and tell me the name of the assassins that killed Dr. King's parents? Just like I thought. So, Sister Ra, if we would have got murdered that day on the 15th going to Las Vegas, no one would even remember the people that killed us. And this is sad. This is really, really sad. Today, we got to start documenting and make a list of all of the traitors. All right? And we need to bring them up on charges and either ostracize them or develop this drop squad and we need to deal with them. It's a shame. How did Dr. Martin Luther King's mom die? Does anyone know? Murdered in the church. Can you imagine that? I'm not going to go over the whole list because I'm going to cut right to the chase. This is one such traitor who committed not only treason, but this is the traitor that sold me out, hiding the microphone under his coat at the table with his white Jewish girlfriend walking in an hour later when we started talking about the music industry. That day I had a table about this size, probably a little bit longer. On the table, I had books to prove all of my points. I traveled with these books. About 30 books were on the table. And I'm giving him Jewish authors and quoting Jewish authors and this kind of, and scholars. By the time he ended up with that particular interview, an hour and 20 minutes long, he transcribed the information down, and he faxed it to all the Jewish organizations. They came down on Def Jam and Sony. They put the pressure on Chuck. Chuck ended up kicking me out of Public Enemy. All because of a meeting with this dude right here. Now, the good thing about this situation, he dropped dead about a month ago. Now, you don't have to applaud that, because why are you going there, Professor Grif? And I tell everybody, and I'm not going to bite my tongue tonight. We don't know how he died, but I told the last audience that I said this in front of, it was probably Professor Grif late at night dealing with some high science called voodoo. And this little punk ass dropped dead. Good. Because I read the Bible too. And I pray like David prayed in the Bible. I'm not going to pray that my enemies and traitors among us live a long life. To hell with that. He needed to drop damn dead. Are you following me? Now, I know y'all think that's kind of radical when you about gathering your stuff right now, but hell, y'all need to sit tight shit. I'm not done. So we need to find out who murdered his parents. That's right. The brother that gave mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to Malcolm X at the Audubon Ballroom after they shot our brother down was an FBI agent. Do you know his name? Well, they just released one of the brothers from prison. How many people ran up on his ass? That's right. Are you following me? I'm telling you, y'all passing this legacy of inactivity down to young people, man, and we can't afford to do that. Are you following me? Fred Hampton Sr. was set up. There was an agent in the ranks. He gave the police department a hand-drawn out map of the apartment that he was in and where he slept. Then the agent drugged him. Do you know the agent's name? Come on, y'all. His name is William O'Neill. If you've seen a picture of William O'Neill, it didn't show up on the thing today, but if you've seen a picture of William O'Neill, he looked like anybody in this audience. Are you following me? Let's push forward. But I don't want to end up like this. These brothers were young, man, 17, 18 years old. Are you following me? It even says some of the cowardly crackers shot through the walls. Are you following me? Then they brought the body out and the police officers were found laughing, giggling, and smiling. So Fred Hampton says you can kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. Revolution is complete, constructive, conscious, cosmic change. If not Professor Grif doing it, you have to do it. Are you following me? Let me move real quick. Need I say any more? Are you following me? But I do, because I'm a firm believer, like how Johnny Cochran left us. They used the same tactics on Khalid Muhammad. And we figured it out. Delbert Blair have figured it out. You have Delbert Blair's information on the back table, good brother? Delbert Blair have figured it out. Phil Valentine have figured it out. They're using these acoustic sound weapons. Are you familiar with the acoustic sound weapons? That they could be down the road about a mile. Point the weapon your way. All right? Tap into your frequency and cause you to throw up and have convulsions. Fry you from the inside out.
Beams of sound waves will make us too sick to fight. Tomorrow's highway patrol will use invisible waves of energy to stop a fleeing car. Some, like the acoustic gun, are so new that it may be years before their real potential and real drawbacks are known.
Georgian police also used a unique ultrasound machine which disoriented people.
Georgian police used an acoustic gun. It's a non-lethal weapon that disorients people for a period of time. Also, police used so-called sting bombs and rubber bullets that can cause very serious damage. These are inhumane means of crowd control. Whoever ordered using them should be held responsible. A democratic country could never use them against peaceful demonstrators.
It was one of the first times that this kind of acoustic gun was used to disperse crowds. Similar such guns are also owned by the Iraqi police. The steps used in Tbilisi on Wednesday suggest that Georgian special forces were prepared and equipped with a group of foreign allies. It's due to the US training program given to Georgian riot police that they managed to do what they did. This year, Georgia received over $10 million, more than any other CIS state. Georgian police supplied modern anti-riot machines and up-to-date methods of fighting demonstrators.
Researchers are exploring a different acoustic principle, using a pair of tiny electric horns. Each horn sends out a narrow beam of high-frequency sound. Alone, each horn is harmless. But if both horns are focused at the same point, researchers believe the waves could combine to create a low frequency. The beams can be aimed with great precision. If they intersect with a human body, for example, the low frequency could create bodily discomfort.
Do you remember the Panama deception when America invaded Panama to get Noriega? It was reported that the brothers were seen in the street. They would point the weapon at him and the brother would be running. So they were finding some of the bodies still standing up, but the insides were rotted out. These microwave kind of low frequency sound weapons that they're using to fry brothers' brains. Are you following me? So inside of the apartment, the sister was told, you have to scoop the vomit up because the brother was having an aneurysm and throwing up. You have to save the vomit because it could have been something that he ate. Are you following me? Come to find out that through the cell phone and the microwave and the TV and the computer, we're frying our insides, brothers. And we have to be careful of that. We talked about this last time. We talked about, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness operating in high places. But I wanted to impart to you what is the high places that we're dealing with. That fourth dimension that we're going to have to operate in to deal with our open enemy. We have to get familiar with the weaponry. Are you following me? Listen, I want to say something to the revolutionaries that are in the audience. Once, I can't go over the whole science because we don't have a lot of time, but the spider injects a certain kind of enzyme into the web. That when the fly gets caught in the web, all right, that enzyme marries on to the fly's body. Are you following me? I'm only saying that to say this, brothers and sisters. For those of y'all that are thinking that you have to be in the system to work against the system, inside of the system, that's not going to work. Are you following me? You will get caught up in the system. Are you following me? The system is not designed that way. All right, brothers, in a nutshell, how the hell are you going to get caught in the web and then turn around and want to negotiate with the spider? That's not going to happen, man. That's just not going to. Once you get caught in the web, there's no more negotiating. You'll become a meal for the damn spider. Are you following me? Thank you. Let's push forward. I point out some things, and this is one of the basic things that I point out to get people to understand. That this is no accident that she's wearing this dress, because it resembles the black widow spider. All right, this is kind of the language that they use to communicate with one another. And as I often said on your show, Brother Darren, we have to become symbol literate. And we have to decode and demystify some of these things so we'll know. So what I did is track down the spider. And it's actually a science that they use to speak to one another, because this one is in the Netherlands at The Hague. This one is in Rockefeller Center in New York. So what is it about the spider that we don't know that they know? Are you following me? And then who is Michelle Obama talking to? So we find her here throwing up the Baphomet, which is a unisex goat god, and you use this symbol to worship the devil. And you see this now marrying itself on the hip hop. So we see the Rihannas and the Jay-Z's and the Kanye Wests throwing these symbols up. Are you following me? Last night, the other night, the brother pointed this out. He says, well, who is she speaking to? It says the superpowers. And that's exactly who she's speaking to. She's not speaking to you. Are you following me? It says the highest levels of the Obama administration is infested with members of a shadow elitist cabal intent on installing a one-world government that subverts the will of the American people. Nzulu he told me, did a lecture talking about AFRICOM. We don't need to talk about AFRICOM anymore. We already know that multi-jurisdictional task force from different countries, the military is there in Africa right now, carving up Africa once again. And here they are. Are you following me? All right? Those precious minerals that they need to survive, they are there in Africa. Some more suffering, shame, and death as we experienced during Hurricane Katrina and in Haiti. There's some other people, man, that control our so-called leaders. Are you following me? We need to understand that. Those that were put in place to at least speak to black concerns, they don't speak for us at all. Are you following me? And we need to understand that. Colin Powell said at the last minute that what's wrong with Barack Obama having a Muslim name or being a Muslim? What's wrong with that? You just said it too late, Colin Powell.
That's right.
You don't know William Bennett, the Czar of Education. What did he say? He said that we just abort all black babies, we can curb the crime. Are you following me? Which is a shame. Which is truly a shame. So let's push forward. So I often ask the question, if the government closed tomorrow, brothers and sisters, what will we do? We have to have an infrastructure set up. We have to have a contingency plan, right or wrong. So I started looking into hip-hop to see if hip-hop were going to speak to any of these things. And I think not, brothers and sisters. And you know the story. I've talked to you about John Patash's book when I was here before, how he connected the dots. I'm going to run through this real quick. And he did connect the dots, and it's a very important book. Are you following me? But we need to study the book, crack it open, because he talked about the United States intelligence murderous targeting of Tupac and Biggie and Dr. King and Malcolm, and we can say Jimi Hendrix.
That's right.
Are you following me? And we talked about the rap COINTELPRO files kind of revamping itself and operating in hip-hop.
Right.
We already know that J. Edgar Hoover during the COINTELPRO was trying to seek out and to prevent the rise of the Black Messiah. I told